Hello, first graders. I was thinking today a little bit about children and when you first learn how to set a table. I know when Abby was little, she would get all the dishes and I'd say, Abby, come help me set the table. And she'd take everything and put it in one big pile right in one spot. The knife and the fork and the spoon and the cup, she just put it on the table, no order. And then as she got older, she realized that the cup should probably go at the top so that it doesn't spill if there's any liquid in it. And she learned that the fork and the spoon go to the sides of the plate. So she realized that there was a certain order in how that you set the table. Well, even when you were little and you started learning about letters, lots of times the letters would just be all mixed up. And now, as first graders, you've learned that letters have a pattern and they go in certain patterns to say different things and make different sounds. You've learned so many things about reading and writing. Today, we're going to learn about the patterns of capital letters and how and when we would use those. Now, I could just tell you how to spell with capital letters, but I thought that you are getting so smart that you really don't need me to tell you. I think you could discover it on your own. And sometimes when we learn on our own, we learn from experts. So today I put a letter here, and this letter is from a principal to a school. And it's not our school right now because we're not in school, but it was a letter from a while back, and it's kind of a little embarrassing, probably for the teachers, because there's a little blooper because the teachers did not clean up in the lounge. Can you believe that? They must have got so busy that they forgot. So today we're going to study this letter, and I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to notice where the capital letters are. Now remember, capital letters are the bigger letters. Every letter, and there are 26 in the alphabet, every letter has a capital. So if you have the letter A, for example, there are two letters. There's a uppercase and a lowercase. The uppercase letter is the capital letter. Let's try the letter M. This is the capital letter. This is the lowercase letter. So today we're going to focus on when and where we would use a capital letter. When you first start learning how to write, many times you don't really think about where those letters go. I know that my Abby used to write her name like this. And she would write her name in all capital letters. And you know what? That's not wrong because that really does say her name. But usually, when you write your name the correct way, and in first grade, you now write it with only the first letter capital, and the rest are lowercase. So, as you learn new rules, then you start to change and use those in your writing. So, today we're going to study this letter that the principal wrote. And I will read it to you. And I want you to be looking for those capital letters. And then we're going to talk a little bit about them. So it says, Dear teachers, the teacher's room was a mess last night. Mr. Mark had to wash your coffee cups, and he shouldn't need to do that. One had mold growing in it. Ooh. Please clean up. Thanks, Vicky. P.S. Also, I noticed there was half a Carvel ice cream cake in the refrigerator and other moldy old things. I think that cake has been there since Miss Stacy's birthday in September. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to read this part up here. Sorry about that. I'm going to read this bottom. I think the cake has been there since Miss Stacy's birthday in September. Oh my gosh, that is a long time. That's almost like 9 months ago. So we're going to go through and find the capital letters. And I want you to be thinking about what they are You can shout them out if you see them. Let's see here. Oh, I notice this letter is bigger. So I'm going to put a line under that. Dear. And then teachers is capital. And here's another capital T. The teacher's room was a mess last night. Oh, Mr. Mark had to wash your coffee cups, and he shouldn't need to do that. One had mold growing in it. Please clean up. Thanks, Vicky. Oh, here's another one. Also, I noticed there was half a caramel ice cream cake in the refrigerator and other moldy things. Oh, I is capital. Think that cake has been there since Miss M and Miss S and Stacy's birthday in September. September is a month, isn't it? Underline that one. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of work to do. So now I've underlined all the capital letters, and let's see if we can figure out what some of the patterns are. Well, dear is the first word in the introduction to this letter. So this one is capital because it's the introduction of a letter. And teachers is addressing the teachers too. So we'll put that one. And the right here is the first word in a sentence. The teacher's room was a mess last night. Remember, when we write, your teacher will always say, make sure the first word is capital. Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark. That's a name. I wonder if that's why these are capitals. Mr. Mark had to wash your coffee cups, and he should need to do that. And then look at the O is capital. I wonder why that would be capitalized. Oh, I see there's a period. That means that's the end of the sentence. So this must be the first word in the sentence. One had mold in it. Now here's the end of the sentence. Here's a new sentence. So capital letter in the beginning of the sentence. Please clean up. Now I notice, just like dear teachers is the intro of the letter, there's capital letters. There's also capital letters at the end of the letter. Thanks, Vicky. And then there's PS. PS is always capitalized. That means there's going to be a little bit more. Here's also is the first word in the sentence. And I is not the first word in the sentence, but that is a special snap word. It's a word and a letter, and when it's by itself, it is always capital. I noticed there was half a caramel. That must be the kind of ice cream. Caramel ice cream cake in the refrigerator and other moldy things. There it is again, all by itself. I think that cake has been there since Miss Stacy. Miss Stacy is kind of like Mr. Mark, isn't it? Those are both somebody's name. So the first letter in Miss and the first letter in Stacy, but not all of them. Miss Stacy's birthday in September. September is a month. So names of months must be capitalized too. That means it would be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Those are all months of the year. Those would have capital letters too. Well, that was kind of a fun way to learn a little bit about when we capitalize letters. So let's take a look at this little chart and let's see if this helps us sum things up. Use capital letters for start of sentences. Sometimes my camera doesn't focus. Let's see if there we go. Start of sentences. And I just wrote one here. We went to the store. We went to the store. So the first word in this sentence is capital. Or the first letter, The first letter of the first word is capital. We went to the store. So you always capitalize the first letter in the first word of any sentence. The other thing that you would capitalize is the name of a person or a place. Like Jackie is my first name, and the J in Jackie has a capital letter. Mrs. Shear is also my name, and the first letter in Mrs. and the first letter in Shear is capital, but the rest are lowercase letters. A place that you know is the city of Richfield. That's where our school is, and that's where most of you live in Richfield. Richfield is a name of a place, so you always capitalize the first letter in Richfield. Another thing that you do is you start and end with a capital letter when you're writing a letter. So, for example, today I went into Caleb's room and I said, Caleb, this room is a mess. And he kind of gets forgetful sometimes because he's doing other things. So I wrote him this note. It says, Dear Caleb, please clean up your room. Love, Mom. Notice the D in dear is capitalized and the L in love is capitalized. I capitalized his name. And, well, this is my name to him because he calls me Mom. And why do you think I capitalized this P? Think about that. Why did I capitalize the P? Whisper to someone or say it out loud. Yes, I capitalized the P because it's the first word in the sentence. So another reason why I like capitalize a letter is this very special word, and it's the word I. It's the letter I and the word I. This says, do I have to clean my room? The word I is always capitalized, even if it's not in the beginning. If it's in the beginning of the sentence, like I am a teacher, it's also going to be a capital letter, but for two reasons, because it's the word I and it's the first word in the sentence. This I is not the first word, but because it's the special snap word I, it's always capital. So the word I, no matter where you put it, is always a capital letter. And the last thing that we usually capitalize letters for is starts of dates. So I just wrote this because this is fitting for today. Today is May 14th, 2020 or 2020. Notice this is the first part of my sentence, so I did capitalize the T in today, but I also capitalized May because May is the name of a month, and names of months and dates are capitalized. So there's a lot of information and lots of things to remember, but we will learn them as we go. What I would like you to do today is either find a book and look to see if you can find words that have capital letters and be thinking, why is this word capital? Is it because it's at the start of the sentence? Is it because it's somebody's name or the name of a place? Is it the beginning or the end of a letter to someone? Is it the word I? Or is it the start of a date? I want you to be thinking about that, and I want you to see if you can find some capital letters in your reading today. The other thing that's kind of fun is I was going around my house today and I was like, oh, my hands are so dry. And I put on this lotion. I was putting it on my hands. And then I looked at the bottle of lotion and you'll never guess I found a capital letter. And this was some lotion. Let's see if I can get up to the front for you to see it. And the lotion is called Eucerin. Can you see the capital letter E? Eucerin. That's a name of a product. It's not just any lotion, it's Eucerin lotion. And that's why it's got the capital letter. And then I was kind of hungry and I wanted a little bit of a snack. And I love apples with peanut butter. Oh, my favorite snack. And I opened up the cupboard and I took out my peanut butter and I went, no way. I found another capital letter. Can you see the capital letter here? Say the letter out loud. Yes, it's got the letter. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this backwards. J for Jif. This isn't just any peanut butter, it's Jif peanut butter. So it's kind of fun to look around. Then I found another thing. I went to the store and I thought, oh, I really need some gum because I like to have minty, nice, fresh breath in the morning. And I found this gum and it says extra. Do you see the capital letter? It has a capital E because this isn't just any gum, it's extra gum. That's the name of the gum. And this is one of my favorites because we're studying butterflies, and this is called Great Migrations of Butterflies. And look at the title of this book, Butterflies. Butterfly starts with a capital B because it's the name of this book. So I bet if you look around your house, you will find capital letters everywhere. So have fun finding all those things. Kind of go on a little scavenger hunt today and see if you can find some things. And maybe you can share some of those things with your teacher. You can either use a mic, or you could draw a picture, or you could tell them about it. Very good. Keep practicing finding those capital letters and be thinking about when you would use them when you are writing. Have a great day.